A few years back, I received an invitation to a casual dinner party, an unexpected reunion with old high school friends. The gathering wasn't extravagant, just a small group reconnecting after years apart. Among the attendees were familiar faces from the past, some of whom I hadn't heard from in ages. It seemed like a great opportunity to catch up. However, my wife couldn't join me as the invitation was exclusive. Undeterred, I eagerly looked forward to the event, dusting off my high school baseball cap and reviewing the guest list. As I arrived at the rented venue on a Saturday night, the nostalgia set in. The host, Jerry, the former head of the AV club, greeted me warmly. The night promised to be a simple yet pleasant gathering of old friends. As the evening unfolded, it took an unexpected turn. Nellie, one of the guests, received distressing news on her phone, a tragic accident involving our friend Tess. The atmosphere shifted, and an eerie feeling crept in. However, Jerry, the host, remained strangely quiet. Suddenly, the power went out, plunging us into darkness. In that moment, a chilling presence made itself known, an otherworldly spectral figure with impossibly long limbs and a dark, menacing aura. The room erupted in panic as the entity revealed itself, leaving us bewildered and terrified. Jerry finally disclosed the truth. The mysterious deaths of Gwen, another acquaintance, and 2 others were linked to sightings of this ominous entity, the Spectre of Death. Tess had tried to warn us, reaching out to Jerry to gather the group and confront the impending threat. The reunion was not just a casual get-together, it was an attempt to face the supernatural force that haunted our lives. As we grappled with the unfolding horror, the entity attacked, claiming the lives of our friends one by one. Desperation set in as we struggled to comprehend the situation. With makeshift weapons in hand, we devised a plan to confront the entity as a group, hoping to escape its clutches. However, our attempt failed miserably. The entity retaliated with overwhelming force, shattering our feeble resistance. It became clear that we were trapped, bound by some unknown force to a fate beyond our understanding. In a moment of despair, the entity extended an invitation, an offer to join its existence, a never-ending cycle of strange and otherworldly experiences. Unable to resist, I succumbed to the entity's influence, and one by one my friends met their tragic ends. The lights flickered back on, phones buzzed with missed calls, but the only survivor was left sobbing on the floor, haunted by the surreal events that had transpired. In the aftermath, the world dismissed the incident as wine poisoning, and I found myself unable to convince anyone of the supernatural truth. Life moved on, and I built a seemingly normal existence with a family and a stable job. Yet, the lingering feeling of doom persists, a constant reminder that I may have bargained for more than I can comprehend. The small-town life I thought I had escaped now follows me in ways I never imagined.
Once the transaction was settled, Bohr moved to the dining area, selecting a booth and commencing a bizarre internal monologue. Meanwhile, the restaurant staff, visibly exhausted and stained with the residue of Bohr's presence, emerged from the kitchen bearing trays laden with food. As they distributed the offerings, Bohr's attention shifted to me. In a psychic communication, it urged me to share my meal with a seemingly impoverished individual across the room. The bizarre scene unfolded as a tentacle-like appendage extended, delivering the tray to its intended recipient. While attempting to consume my own meal, I struggled to comprehend the eldritch horror of Bohr's voracious appetite. The cloud around Bohr transformed into a chaotic cyclone, absorbing food at a frenetic pace. Burgers, fries, chicken nuggets, and tacos vanished within seconds, leaving me astounded and repulsed. I managed to consume a portion of my meal, driven by a fear of offending this unearthly entity. With an unsettling nod of approval, Bohr continued its feast. I discreetly disposed of the remaining food, offering a silent farewell to the terror-stricken workers as I left the restaurant. The echoes of Bohr's thoughts lingered in my mind, prompting a hasty departure from the scene. As I stepped into the parking lot, a final thought from Bohr reached me, revealing its insatiable hunger for human experiences. the bizarre encounter left me questioning the thin veil that separates our reality from the cosmic horrors that may lurk within the mundane corners of our existence. Sitting alone in my car, parked inconspicuously down the street from a local eatery, I find myself grappling with the aftermath of an utterly harrowing experience. Describing the nightmarish events that unfolded at the burger joint is a task that strains the limits of my ability to convey the surreal horror that unfolded within those walls. It all began when a peculiar sound, reminiscent of flags flapping wildly in the wind, caught my attention. A shadowy figure, moving with an otherworldly swiftness, materialized outside the restaurant. Moments later, the entrance swung open, and what can only be described as a cosmic aberration glided into the establishment. Hovering rather than walking, its form was obscured by a dark, cloud-like aura from which sporadic blue sparks emanated. This indescribable entity, which I later learned called itself Buar, exhibited limbs that defied categorization, neither arms nor legs in the conventional sense. Its head perched atop a lofty conoid projection bore eyes or dark orbs encircling it, giving off an eerie sense of omnidirectional awareness. As if in a trance, I fumbled to capture this eldritch sight on my phone, only to find the camera unable to register the surreal scene. To my left, a cashier, equally confounded, attempted to record the phenomenon on her phone. Buar, seemingly ignorant of our feeble attempts to document its presence, focused on the menu board with an unsettling display of eye movement. Suddenly, a voice, guttural yet machine-like, resonated in my mind, an address from the abysmal patron himself. "Place a normal human order. Pay. Get out of here," it commanded, its thoughts audible in our minds. The cashier and I exchanged glances, realizing that our feeble attempts to capture this spectacle were futile. Oblivious to our shared plight, Buar placed its order with the cashier in an otherworldly manner, detailing an excessive feast that defied human norms. The creature, apparently unaware of its psychic broadcast, continued its unnerving scrutiny of the menu. As the cashier totaled the bill, Buar's form extended, launching a mass of cash onto the counter. The cashier, trembling, counted the money and completed the transaction, unfazed by the grotesque display.
A few miles north of me, there's a small family-owned farm. The family usually takes a vacation in July, but when they posted a job listing for a caretaker, my interest was piqued. The job involved feeding animals, maintaining irrigation, and harvesting crops on a small operation that didn't overwhelm with vast fields. Plus, they offered $2,000, which seemed like a great deal at the time. However, as I sat down to read the detailed instructions left by the Gershons, the family that owned the farm, doubts crept in. The note from them included half of the stipend and specific rules: feeding goats and chickens, pruning the raspberry patch, avoiding the sunflower field if any flower faced a different direction, staying away from the corn maze, and more. Despite these unsettling rules, I went about my tasks. The farm seemed normal during the day, but as night fell, strange occurrences started. A sunflower facing me, mysterious cries from the corn maze, and an encounter with a bizarre pig heightened my unease. One night, a mysterious visitor warned me about the Gershons, claiming they couldn't be trusted. Tensions escalated when Derek, my boyfriend, arrived, armed with a gun. The situation reached a boiling point when we encountered a scarecrow in the field. It was then that the old man, the mysterious visitor, revealed the farm's dark history. The Gershons, driven by greed, triggered a curse that transformed people. His daughter and grandson were victims, trapped in the cornfield. Desperate to save them, we assisted him in a ritual involving a bone supposedly capable of reversing the curse. But it went terribly wrong. The old man left with his daughter and grandson, leaving behind a dreadful revelation. The curse could only be broken by sacrificing someone else. Derek succumbed, turning into a scarecrow before my eyes. Now I'm writing this as the changes take hold of me too. My plea is simple: stay away from Gershon Farm. Don't buy their produce, don't work there, and whatever you do, never look back. The farm harbors a dark curse, and it's only a matter of time before it claims another victim.